Overall, happy to win a basketball game. Anytime you get those, you have to feel good about it. But hats off to Mid Atlantic. They really competed. They got some big, strong, solid kids that was kind of throwing our guys out the way a little bit, and I just didn't think we matched them. Pound for pound with the physicality. At the end of the day, we got to be able to make shots. We're missing a whole lot of open shots, and that's the name of the game. It's not really much to look at on this board. Jay Slack came in, he stepped up, and he had a career high 32 points, and more than that, I was happy that he got 11 rebounds. Right, so hopefully that's a sign of him getting things together. We just need other guys to step up. Look, it's been 13 games if you include our scrimmages too. We more than close to halfway through the season, right? So it's time for guys to step up.
2 games ago, you had mentioned about the communication with the team, not really communicating in an empty gym. How do you feel like they're communicating now that we're a little further into the season?
Well, we have a couple of guys that can talk themselves through situations, but this generation of basketball players are a lot different. We always demand them to talk, but the reality is they don't really know what to say. Oftentimes, right? It's like talk about what, and so that's what we're suffering, as a culture in America, because it's all across the board. Like all the coaches, we all in group chats and we all complain about the same thing. You might get one or two kids that understand the game because you can't talk about something you don't know. So think of it in that term. But needless to say, we still have to communicate, right? Even I'd rather for you to talk and not know what you're talking about right now instead of not talk at all. So, we have to watch a lot more film, ingrain ourselves into the scout and what we're doing. And overall, I thought we managed a couple of things. I thought the rebounds was pretty decent, but we have difficulty coming up with what we call 50-50 balls, and that's hindering us right now. But plain and simple, we got to coach better. We got to play better.
And like you mentioned, Jay Slack had a pretty big game today, 30 points. He got his double-double. Who else are you looking at to like kind of step up in that Jay Slack type of role when he comes?
Anybody and everybody. I'm playing musical chairs out here, so we done changed the starting lineup. We just whoever, right? Like man, one thing they can't say is they haven't had an opportunity. So we're giving everyone opportunities, and look, it might be a 3-minute span when you get in and. Something may be clicking for you, right? But we just need consistency more than anything. So none of this means anything if Slack don't come back. And I'm not saying he got to have 32 on Saturday, but you have to be reliable and consistent, right, to add to another piece because we can't just keep riding the backs of, Gage and Corey and those guys and asking them to do it every game.